Hey, what's up? Welcome in. This is the live recording of episode 49 of the Client by Client podcast. If this is your first time here, drop first in the chat. Would love to say welcome in and honor you for being here. And if you're a repeat offender, drop repeat over in the chat, whether you're watching live or in the replay. Would love to say hi, check in on you, see how things are going. There've been a couple episodes we've done over the last 2 weeks where I feel like these are going to be big episodes over my next 18 to 24 months of content that I share for a lot of the prospects that come our way wanting to join the Get Clients program, wanting some help, but might not be ready yet. So I've been loving making this show to be able to help my audience get results faster and even get results without working with me, to get a taste for what is on the other side in the Get Clients program. And I think that today's episode is going to be no different because a lot of people confused on what to do to make the money right now. So let's get into clarifying it and let's bring this to life. Tune in through the end to make sure you get all the points and subscribe to Client by Client over on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. And big shout out to those who've been rating and reviewing. Means a whole lot. Helps the show, helps kind of like the podcast algorithm. Put this show in front of more people, so it means the world. That aside, let's hop in and let's do this together. Hey, what's up? It's Jeremy from whatupjeremy.com, back with another episode of Client by Client. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Yesterday on the podcast, we got a little esoteric and we got a little deep. And what I wanted to do was unpack that deep core of your mind and reveal it to you so that you can get to understanding the details that are inside of it, so that you can know why you might be accelerating as an online coach or what baggage might be holding you back. The episode was titled, It All Starts With This. And we went into my best resources I know for getting to the core of the root of why we are doing what we do as online coaches. And I challenge you to elevate your perspective and to simultaneously go deeper so that you can last longer, be more disciplined as an online coach, serve more people, and create that impact that you're wanting. So be sure to backtrack one episode to balance out what we're going to talk about today. We're going to get back into the strategies, back into the tactics, into the what buttons do you push in order to get clients. And what we're going to be talking about is money now tasks. Over the last 49 episodes, you've heard me allude to this concept of money now versus money later. And you've heard me talk about why your time needs to be split in between these two. And depending where you're at in your journey, you got to know which one is most important. And so today, my goal is that you walk away knowing exactly what is going to drive revenue in your online coaching business today, so that you can get clear on where your next clients are coming from and what you're going to do in order to make that happen. Before we get into the tactics, it's important that you understand what happens if you don't implement today's episode and get it right. The first thing that happens is that you continue putting off the most important part of your online business, sales. And that's frustrating because your business continues to suffer. You continue to think that Jeremy and whatever other gurus and coaches you're following are liars, that we're making this all up, that online coaching is just a big sham, it's a scam, and you got. And that's totally not the truth. And this is what happens when you avoid the most important part of your business, which is the money-making part. You should not be in business if you're not trying to make money and if you're not driven or hungry for it, because that is also how lives get changed. The first thing that happens is that you continue putting off sales and your business and your life continues to suffer. You continue to suffer. The second thing that happens is that you continue doing all of this work. You do and you do and you do, but your revenue stays the exact same. It stays low. You don't beat previous records. You pretty much wind up below 5K a month every single month, and you don't last as an online coach. Money and cash is the oxygen, it's the lifeblood of our online businesses. And it's what keeps things going, okay? The heart of your business is 100% your clients. But without those clients paying you money, you cannot continue doing what you're doing. So this episode is extremely important to you on the other side of this. If you are dreading the prospecting and revenue generating task in your business, or you're just not clear in what those are. That said, let's hop in and let's bring this to life. Again, my goal is that you walk away here knowing exactly where your next client is going to come from, and that you walk away knowing what to do on a day-to-day basis right now. over these next 30, 60, 90 days to drive results in your business. And when I say results, I mean people being interested in your online content, expressing that interest, and showing that interest through commenting, sending you a DM, interacting with you in conversations, and you getting clients. What I know already is that the chances are you're great at the thing you coach on, but you're not so great in getting people to coach. Let's clarify that today. Let's get you on the right path. I'll share with you where you can go to get more of this if you're ready to implement it and take it further. But for now, let's get to the basics and let's talk about this from the ground up so that once and for all, we can solve this revenue generating piece and this prospecting piece of your online business. Let's now talk about the money now tasks. We're just going to go through this list that I have written down, and then quick test for you listening right now. I want you to pause this episode and I want you to make a list of all of the things that you could do right now that would get you money by the end of the week in the next 5 days. Go ahead and just pause it right now and then come back, make your list. At this point, you should have a little list of your idea of what money now tasks are. Let's compare that with my lists. Let's see what's missing from your list that I have on mine. You can send me a DM afterwards, unless you're watching live, and you can comment and you can tell me what is on your list that I don't have. And then you can put all of the things that I'm going to give you right now on your list if you're not doing them, and you can go and get yourself a client. One of the first things that you need to be doing is you have to be making hand-raising content. So if you're making content right now and you aren't getting comments or interactions, one small tweak, you need to get people reading it, that at the end of them reading it, to take a small action, commenting a word, dropping you a comment, sending you a DM. Furthermore, if you are using Story on any platform or you're using Facebook specifically, hand-raising posts are also the name of the game. That means sitting down and brainstorming short, punchy, direct response copy that gets people to take an action. So what that might sound like is I just created a 6-step checklist to get your high school body back. Who wants a copy? Writing that 100 different times to figure out which of it is the shortest that would make the most impact and generate the most interest, and then actually testing it by hitting post. And I promise you that the first thing that you come up with will not convert as well as you sitting down for 30 minutes to an hour and brainstorming how you can make it better. Going to my profile, going to other coaches you follow, going to people who you know are actively getting clients in your space, comparing it to what they're doing because they're doing these things, and then adjusting it and bouncing it off of yours, and then actually testing that and posting that. You have to be creating hand-raising posts, and you have to be posting them to actually try them and experiment. Too many of you come up with the first thing because you see what I have on my profile, so you're like, let me go and get some comments, and you post it and you get none. And that's because you just copied me blatantly, or you copied Coach A, B, or C, or you just went with the first thing that you typed out. You have to have a note in your phone, and you got to come up with at least 10 versions of the thing you want to post when it comes to one of these hand-raising text on background style posts that I'm picturing, that I hope I'm communicating well to you, so that it actually does pull and work well. And one of my coaches had me sit down and do this one time, and what I was going to come up with was way too clever. You've heard me in the last couple episodes talk about clever versus clear. I just focused on being clear with what I was trying to communicate, and that post worked like gangbusters. If I had posted what I was going to do, it wouldn't have worked. I say this to say that, one, good coaches are products of good coaches, but also that I need and get help in these areas as well, so that my copy and so that my direct response can get better. You have to be actively making hand-raising posts, brainstorming them, and even practicing this if you want to get this right. So be sure that you're actually carving out time and putting it on your calendar for you to be protecting this time to brainstorm and come up with these ideas. You got to be making and posting hand-raising posts. Second, follow up. Let's talk about follow up for a second. A lot of you guys are starting conversations, but they're not turning into leads, or the leads aren't turning into clients because you are either following up but doing it incorrectly, or you're not following up, or maybe worse, you're following up but way, way too late. When you follow up and some time has gone by, your prospects lose context to why they were interacting with you. They went from hot, oh my God, give me that thing you just talked about, to warm, cold, and colder. And so if you booked a call and now it's 7-8 days since you chatted with them, they're going to show up, maybe not even show up, because they're going to be wondering, why did I book this call? and I could go to lunch with my friend right now who's in front of me, or I could blow this person off who I don't know at all and doesn't know me, who's been chasing me and I know wants to sell me something. So what am I going to do? Well, lunch would be cheaper than this high ticket coach. So let me just go to lunch. That's what's going through your prospect's mind, or that's what's happening, whether they're thinking through it or not. If they're feeling through it, these things are still happening. So you have to follow up, and you have to also be consistently tightening up your follow-up game. There are very few things that you can control in your online business. Responsiveness and response time is one of those that you can directly control. And I want for you to be actively monitoring and controlling the things that you can, and then just not worrying about the things that you can't. And most of you guys have this completely backwards. You're focused on the things that you can't control versus the thing that you can. You can control you sitting down and making hand-raising content and you getting better at it by trying it and sitting down and doing it. You can get better at follow-up and responsiveness by measuring it, by tracking it, by setting a goal to get back faster, by setting a goal for how many conversations you want to start. It should be minimum of 30 if you're wanting one new client every single week. And when you get better at follow-up and you're actively tracking and monitoring your follow-up, this is your recipe for being able to track those results. And a lot of the issue with this is that you are worried all week about what to do to get clients, and then you finally take an action and you do it and it works, but you kind of pull back in a little bit of scaredness and a little bit of anxiousness and a little bit of worry of not knowing what's going to happen. And then your responsive time just tanks. And so your time to respond absolutely just goes through the window. And now all of those people who were kind of excited about getting your freebies, your tools, your resources, or some help, they have now gone cold. You absolutely have to. If you're going to be putting hand-raising content out, you need to be there to capture responses and to be responsive in return. Second thing you got to do is you got to be following up. These are also in no specific order, by the way. I'm writing down numbers as I go because I'm also kind of jumping in my list a little bit. These are in no specific order. I just want for you to be noting what you're not doing that I am, so that we can turn things around for you. Thing number 3, if you want clients this week, you absolutely must be in your CRM. A lot of you are confused with what a CRM is versus an ESP. CRM, Customer Relationship Manager, is more of how you manage your pipeline and your deal flow. It's the people who haven't given you money yet, or the people that you're working on closing a deal with to get the money. An ESP is your email service provider. This is your MailChimp, your ConvertKit, your Drip. This is what you're broadcasting your emails out to an email list or to your audience through. The CRM is going to be you manually following up. The ESP is going to be a wide broadcast brushstroke follow-up if you're using it for that, not an individual one. It's important that I clarify that for you, because you're one of two people. You just said, Jeremy, you're wasting my time, or you turned up the volume and you sat down, or you hit rewind 15 seconds twice to rehear what I'm saying. There's really two types of people who are listening right now. You either have this clarified and you're clear, or you're not. This is one of the reasons why I created GetBookedCRM, is I have clients who come my way who've been coaching for a couple years. They're at least not brand new to coaching. When I asked them what their CRM was, they were quick to say ConvertKit or MailChimp or whatever they're using for broadcast and for automated follow-up. It's not your CRM. And I'd recommend, I know there's some ESPs that have a CRM built in. I recommend making it separate. And the CRM I've created for you is 100% free as of right now, as of this recording. And I plan on in the future charging for a version of it and including more. But if you are not actively using a CRM, you can go and pay for one. And as long as you're using it, I'm a fan. Or you can find me on Instagram and you can send me the letters CRM, and I can get you a free copy of GetBookedCRM for you to go and download and to start using. I show you how to use it. I show you how to use it to get leads, and then how to use it to turn them in, those leads, into clients in half the time. You have to be in your CRM, and you have to have your pulse on your pipeline. I have a lot of students who will come my way and they say, I haven't gotten a client, or things are a little dry, or they signed up for the program and they're ready to get a client. And then I start talking CRM and these things, and they either don't know what I'm talking about, or I ask them, when's the last time that they were in it? Or better, I have them pull it up live where we're on the call, and there's either no due dates assigned, or all the due dates are red and way past due. It's not enough just to have a CRM or my GetBooked CRM in your business to get clients. It has to be the first thing you're looking at when you get to your computer. It should be the thing that you're spending the most time in, not in your content. And it should be the thing that you are ending your day with, that you're touching up. It should be the most up-to-date thing in your business. And the sign of a good coach, and by good coach, I mean a coach who's consistently landing clients, is that they are active in their CRM and they're in there regardless of how many opportunities they have. Something magical happens when you start spending more time in your CRM and when you're using GetBookedCRM, because I help you get leads with it, is that you will start all of a sudden having more opportunities. You will see things differently. On yesterday's episode, we talked about when you look at something, the thing changes. And not because the thing changes, but because you change, when your perspective changes, you start to see things differently. This is what happens when you're CRM. You will go into Instagram and realize, oh, wow, this person's actually a lead. And I'm not thinking of it as a lead because I'm managing my stuff from my inbox of my DM on Instagram. When if you just put them in your CRM, now you're going to be following up. Now you're going to maybe have some check boxes for things that you do in your prospecting process. Now you're going to have a little bit of a task list to go and do on this prospect. Now you're prospecting. Now you're putting yourself in a position to get the money. Thing number 3, you got to be in your CRM. Thing number 4, this show is all about organic marketing. If you want paid ads, number 1, get to $30K a month organically with a killer offer, and ads will work for you really well. And you also won't need them because you'll still have more money coming in. And by that time, you'll also have the habits that we're talking about today and these skills down enough to be maintaining that revenue coming in organically, and then have the discipline to follow up with the new faces and the new bodies that you have with paid traffic. Until you get to $30K a month, it is absolutely important that you're adding new friends. We talk a lot in this platform. We talk a lot in this podcast about the 7 ones. One of the ones is one social platform. Too many of you guys want to look really good on Instagram, so you go and buy the blue check. And then you want to look good on Facebook, you buy it over there. You want to look good everywhere, so you get it on Twitter. And then you're paying for LinkedIn Premium and all these things. And the reality is that you're now spending $50, $60, $70 on looking good just with verifications. But not a single one of these individual platforms is consistently sending you clients. And so 1 month you get 1 or 2 from LinkedIn because you focused on it maybe a little bit more. And then the next month you get a client through Instagram because you were posting hella reels and doing your story. And then the next month you don't know where your next client's coming from, which is why you have to focus on one social media platform for at least 1 year if you want your organic marketing to work better. Is that when you can dial in one platform, you can start to experiment with the others. But a lot of you guys think you've nailed it in 30 days, in 45 days, in 60 days. And it's going to take you a minimum of a year. And that year, that coach I'm picturing that's going to take a year is the all-star. It's the coach that just gets things they touch turn to gold. This is not the everyone. So for the majority of you, 80, 90% of you listening, you need to focus on one social platform for 1 to 3 years before you think about switching, changing your funnel, adding in paid traffic. And until that day, find that one platform, focus on it for the next 1, 2, 3, 5 years. And on the other side of that, you will have a platform that is a huge asset to you in your business, is actively sending you clients. In order to get to that point, every single day, you need to be adding in new friends to your pipeline. You'd be adding new friends. So if you're on Instagram, this is adding a handful of qualified people from your audience that when you look at their profile, they are doing or saying things that shows that they're in your market or that they have the problem that you can solve. If you're on Facebook, minimum adding 30 to 50 friends every single day. This could be a money later thing because you'd be hard pressed to get a client from one of the friends you're going to add today. But if you were doing this for the last month, the likelihood that there's a client inside of those last 30 days is astronomical. So it's important that you get this habit down and that you get to doing this and not dreading it or wondering or thinking, overthinking it and outthinking yourself into doing it. And instead just get to adding the friends. One of the best ways I know, join groups and find people that are in there. You can also head back to episode 40, where I shared with you how to get clients from your Facebook profile. Even if you're not using Facebook, if you're on LinkedIn or Instagram or another platform, there are some tips and some reminders in there as well, even though it's catered specifically to Facebook. But if you're on Facebook, you could just use that and use that as your template for what to start doing. And what's important is that you know how to be using it. So on Instagram, be finding other influencers or coaches that your audience is following and go start adding a handful of friends a day. On Instagram, you go and add 50, you're going to get banned, blocked, shadow banned, or slowed down. So I'd recommend starting with like 5 a day and then going to 10 a day. On Facebook, maybe that's 10 a day for a week, and then 20, 30, 40 until you're hitting a number where it's under 50 and you're starting to get results from it, and you can see your ideal clients in there, even if they're not signing up yet. These people look like your clients, they smell like your clients, and they are showing that they're interested or have the problem that you are here to help solve. Start adding friends every single day, and this will turn into money right now. This could be seen as a money later task, but if you do this every single day, what you'll find is that it creates the environment that you're needing, which is fresh faces and new conversations. Which takes me to thing number 5. Warm DMing. What I'm not a fan of is you cold messaging people your offer. On Facebook, I consider it warm once they've accepted my friend request. On Instagram, once they've followed me or they've responded to a comment. If they're following me and they're watching my story, extra warm. You have to be sending out DMs. A lot of you guys think because you were inspired by a big box coach to start coaching, that when you start coaching and launch your coaching business, that clients just start coming your way. And you're faced with a tough reality once you get outside of your own network. Was anybody else in that spot when they first started coaching? Like most of my clients are? The reality is that getting clients organically is an active game. You are just not big enough or an authority enough for you to warrant clients coming your way every single day and just signing up because you are who you are. One day, you keep listening to the show, you keep on your online coaching journey, you will get there. Until that day, your client generating activities are going to be very active. There are some passive things to do, but you don't rely on them and you don't wait on them for them to pull you clients. You get on the offense and you start doing things. One of those things that you have to do in there is DMing people warm. So if you're adding friends on Facebook, when they finally accept your friend request, it's sending them a welcome message, a warm welcome. If that's your group and people are joining your group, that's welcoming them into your group once they do join, and then also maybe inviting them to take the next step. So if they're joining your group, maybe the next step is doing an audit or like a quick 15-minute call with you or a full-on 45-minute sales call. Although you're not going to label it that. You're going to have a problem-oriented label on your jar that sounds juicy to them. So like for me, I help coaches. Maybe we do an offer audit. It's a 15-minute call. And then at the end, if you want some help, I'll tell you where to go to get some more help on it. That would be an example of inviting someone after they join my group. Let's back it up one step and say that they've just accepted my friend request. Well, that's having a little bit of back and forth and then inviting them into my Facebook group to take the next step. You have to be warm DMing people. If you were going to warm DM 10 people today, these are like followers on your social media, subscribers to your list, members in your groups. You're not going in and this is the first interaction. If you were going to send out 10 messages today, I would want 4 of them to be thank yous or compliments. I would want the next 4 of those comments that you're sending out to be invitations to take the next step with you or to get a free resource, giving them value. And I would want 2 out of the 10 warm DMs for you to be actually going for it. So if you had 10 prospects, you would sit there and choose the 2 that look the most like the kind of clients that you help. They look like they're alive, they're breathing, they're interacting. Maybe you've already had a warm and a good experience with them. And that is sending them a DM that sounds something like, hey, Jeremy, I was looking through your profile or maybe that would sound like, hey, Jeremy, if you didn't know, I help online coaches grow their online business. I was looking through your profile. You're crushing it, but I also saw some opportunity that you might be missing out on. Are you interested? Or that might sound like, I literally just sent an example of this the other day. Let me just pull her up. Let's say someone accepted your friend request and they're just giving you that vibe. Maybe they've already commented on some of your posts. Maybe you've interacted with them a little bit and now you're getting ready to send a warm DM. Maybe that sounds something like, hey, I appreciate you accepting my friend request. I wanted to reach out because I'm looking for committed individuals who are looking to start or take their online business to the next level. I was looking at your profile and I feel like you'd be a great fit for my program. Are you interested? You got to just go for it sometimes. And if you're sending this out twice a day to your 10 prospects, so to say, one of those people, if not two of them, will book a call with you, and one of them will wind up signing up with you. But you're too scared to be sending those out right now. This is warm, not cold. Warm means that they've accepted your request or they're viewing your content, and now you can actually go in. Do not send this out 10 times to your 10 prospects. You will blow it. You will burn every single one of those bridges, besides maybe one. But then those are prospects that you could have got later and down the road and in the future. So if I had it my way, it'd be 2 of those messages where you're going for it and you're saying, are you interested in working together? 4 of those 10 messages are thanking them for interacting on your content. And 4 of them are giving out compliments. You can mix and match, but you have to be warm DMing prospects. And this is going to help you to book more calls, have more conversations going, and to also be getting more clients. Thing 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 5 was warm DMing. Let's talk about thing number 6. You have to be sticking to your content calendar. I might say that right now, and you might not actively have a content calendar going. That means that you need to be working on that at some point in time today after you do some of these more important tasks when it comes to your prospecting. Like, go to your follow-ups before you work on your content calendar. This is like a after 2 p.m. type task when you're not in your highest and best energy. And so if you don't have a content calendar going right now for the month, just think about what needs to go out today. And then when you do that, you can think about what needs to go out this week. If you are not at the discipline level yet in your business where you are managing to a content calendar, this is something that you should actively be aspiring to. And this should be something on your horizon over these next 90 days now that you know about it, so that you can be posting consistently and so that you're getting visible and so that your face is out there and you're talking about your market's pains and problems. Once you get this down, it's about daily driving it. Like, part of my content calendar is doing this show. And the next part, which is thing number 7 here, building off of it, is posting to your story and about visibility. So the next thing that you must be doing if you want clients to be coming your way, and if you want your own clients to be more bought in to whatever you coach on, you have to be doing a minute-long story every single day. And I don't think it is too much to ask of you is, do you have 60 seconds to talk about your market's pains and problems today and give them some hope, give them a resource, give them an idea that's going to help them go further, and then be thinking about you when it comes time for them to be in decision-making mode about who they want to work with or about who they want to work with next. If you want to see what this looks like, you can go to Instagram or Facebook at What Up Jeremy, and you can check out what I'm doing and how I use my story, my 1-minute story, to promote my podcast, to promote resources that I have, and then how I use my story throughout the rest of my day. But you have to be turning on, a big concept here in this show and Client by Client is turning on the open sign for your online business, because no one's going to do it for you. What better way than to every single day show up, show your expertise, show your know-how, and to get your face out there and to be putting yourself in a position to solicit comments back and to be boosting your authority in your market and to be boosting the authority you have with your current clients. Post your story, get visible, do it every single day. Thing number 8, you got to be commenting on prospects and on other like content in your market. What that might mean is coming up with a list and having it so where you can easily click it and tap it and go to each one of these people. But if you can't do this right now, then you might not be as in tune with your market as you think you are. And that would be to create a list of 100 other influencers or extremely influential brands that your clients are also following. You need to know what podcasts they're listening to, what YouTube channels they subscribe to, what Facebook groups they're in, what books they're reading. And if you can come up with a list of 100, a lot of my students can get to about 50 or 60, and it gets really hard. It got really hard for me around 75 when I did this a few months back. And I was able to pump it out because I've been doing this for so long. But sometimes you get so tuned into your own world, you stop paying attention to what's going on in the world that got you to where you're at now. And so what I would recommend is, when you have a prospect come your way who requests access to your group, who comments on your post, who sends you a DM, the in-between time between them signing, between that moment happening where they follow, comment, DM you, and them signing up to be a client can be strengthened and or minimized by you interacting in their world. So if you got a prospect on Instagram, maybe it's going and friending them on Facebook and then like commenting on their posts, or just on Instagram, go and comment on the posts that they are sharing with more than just an emoji, with an actual thought. You probably right now would love it if you had more people commenting on your posts. Who wouldn't? When that happens to us, we get a little release of dopamine, and so too do your prospects. So I think it's important in your day to be commenting on your prospects' content. As you start using GetBookedCRM, you're going to start filling up the inbox, the new and the follow-up and the warm lists with real people who have real problems. Not all of them are going to end up signing up and making it to your client list, but you can increase those odds and increase the odds of you becoming the coach they choose if you are interacting with them by being top of mind. So have it in your day to go and comment on their story and on their content and leave thoughtful comments on their content. And then to take it further, a little bit more advanced, if you either don't have those prospects or you're finished because you only had a few of them to go and comment on and you're running out of places to go and leave your comments with those few people, now is when you pull out that list of 100 influencers, podcasts, blogs, groups, YouTube channels that your audience is listening to and subscribe to, following and listening to. And now you're going to go to all of those people and you're going to go to their comments and you're going to leave extremely thoughtful comments on those posts, value added comments, because you're going to be doing this with people who are far your senior in the business and in the industry. What this isn't doing is grabbing onto their coattails. What this isn't doing is jacking them of their energy and attention or of their audience. You are not going to go and tell people to follow you or to send you a DM or anything like that. You're going to go to their content, find stuff you resonate with, and leave very thoughtful, insightful comments, maybe even asking questions of them or of others to get more interaction. The interaction you want on your social media is also what these influencers and big time coaches live for and are wanting as well. And it makes them feel just as special as it does you. And on top of that, if you go and comment on other people's comments and you're seen a bit more often, you're going to start getting follows from those people. You didn't go in and say, follow me. You didn't go in and jack them. You went and was you at their cocktail party and other people said, I want this person to have my business card. I want to follow this person. And they went and did it. So there's a way of doing this that will make you look like a total jerk off. And there's ways that are doing it that make you look like somebody that others want to be around. I want you to be the latter, not the jerk off. No jerk offs here. Okay, building on that, thing number 9 is as you start to get more in tune with your content calendar and as you start pumping out more content and as you start showing your first face more daily, you are going to have more people interacting with your content, commenting, watching it, liking it, and sharing it. The next thing I want for you to be doing is, and you have to be timely about this as well, is you need to be responding and thanking those people and those interactions. Let's use the story as an example. If someone watches your story and maybe you've never noticed them or you notice that they've been watching the last couple days, send them a message and just say, thanks so much for watching my story. It means a lot, and leave it at that. Maybe you do this 10 times. 2 of them, you send your go for it message where you say, are you interested in some help? The other 8 are saying thanks or giving them compliments on what it is they're doing or what they're up to so that you can get to a point of asking if they're interested in some help. So this is all about people commenting and interacting with your content, coming to your world. I want for you to be responding and interacting and driving that forward and turning those into conversations. If you notice, the majority of these things we've talked about up to this point are all about creating conversations. That's the money-making task that is really more important than all of the others. But if there was one that was more important than all of them, that is going to impact everything else you do in this money now, revenue generating, lead generation, client acquisition piece of your business, it's this. Spending time on your offer, making offers, and sending invites. We've already talked about making offers to people and sending out invites and getting them to the next step. Let's talk about the first piece, making offers. So many people, so many coaches in the industry right now will not make it because they think their offer is 100% fine. Every single student that's ever come to the Get Clients program, when I ask them what they need most right now, it's always about leads or sales. It's never about the offer. But if we were to look at the offer and to make that stronger, everything gets easier and better in the lead generation and in the conversion aspect, the attract and the convert aspect of your business. So it's important that right now, if your offer is not working or it's not working above 50% close rate, if you're doing sales calls, that you improve your offer every single day. That if you don't know what to improve of it, that you're asking yourself out loud to your subconscious, how do I make my offer better? And you're spending time on it, exploring things. You're subscribed to other coaches' newsletters, trying to get some intel on what their offer's like, not to copy them or to do what they're doing, but to get ideas for why your offer might not be working. Now, I also hesitate to say that because the smart coaches these days are not hackable. You cannot hack their funnel without having a conversation with them, which is why I'm also such a fan of you optimizing for conversations instead of for clicks and conversions. Because if you go down that route and you make a nice, pretty funnel, you're easy to hack. People can just go through it as a prospect and see what you have to sell and then just negate all of it and give you fake info along the way. Whereas when you have a conversation and your social media presence is the funnel, social as the funnel, it's a concept we're going to begin talking about here soon. When you use social media as the funnel and there's a conversation needed, well, now you're a lot harder to hack. And if someone does try to hack your funnel and pull it apart and steal it, you're just automatically going to know who it is and where they got it from when you start to see those materials get put out there. So in the meantime and in between times, you have to make your offer better. If you don't have clients right now, or if you're closing at less than a 50% close rate, your offer is not juicy enough. The issue is that when your offer isn't working and you don't have the clients, you're going to be thinking about everything that you can do outside of what we talked about here today to get clients. You're going to be thinking about paid traffic. You're going to be thinking about where you're going to run your ad, the next social platform, the next video, the next content you're going to make, when in reality, you need to be spending so much more time and energy making your offer so stupid juicy that you don't have to do any more hard selling, and that the sales issue is no longer an issue, and it's about deliverability and having a scaled automated delivery that becomes a problem. And everything else would just get easier when your offer is better, when your offer is foolproof, and when your offer is so juicy. Lead gen all of a sudden becomes easier. Conversion and getting them to become a client, getting to the call and close them at the end, they start to do that for you. And all you have to do is show up and not blow it. So thing number 10, make offers and then test the offer out. And you guys have heard me say that one offer to a million, but you can't get to that one offer to a million until you figure out the offer that works. Don't be so stubborn and hard-headed that you think that your offer is going to work, even though you're the only one that doesn't think it's ugly. It's like a kid, right? No one thinks their own kid is ugly. No one thinks their own dog is ugly, right? No one thinks their shit stinks. The reality is they all do, and they all come with their own problems. So what I want for you to do is to just continue working on your offer. It's going to be uphill, but I promise you at the top of the hill, that reward, that payoff, it's worth it, because on the other side of that, it's a downhill, is that you get momentum behind you. Clients start coming your way, prospects start chasing you, everything gets easier. You wind up with at least one new client every single week. And that's the recipe for being easily, without much effort, at 15 to 30K a month. But you have to get this part of your business right before you can get to the ads, before you can get to the cool and the fun stuff. Is you have to work through this hard stuff. And I promise you that when you nail this and you get these 10 money now tasks right, everything gets more easy and it gets way more fun in your online business. In the next episode of Client by Client, we're building off of today, and we're going to switch gears from money now tasks, and we're going to talk about money later tasks. You don't want to miss it, so be sure to come back tomorrow for the next episode of Client by Client. Whenever you are ready, here are a few ways I can help you grow your online business. First, get my free copy. First, get your free copy of GetBookedCRM. Right now in June 2023, it's 100% free. I'm gonna start that over. Coaches, are you still managing your leads and pipeline from Instagram DM, Facebook Messenger in your email inbox? Well, when you do that, you're leaving a lot of money on the table and you're losing leads in the cracks. That's why I created GetBookedCRM. With my free CRM, you will not only be able to get clients and get them in half the time, you'll also feel more empowered around your lead generation, causing for you to have more opportunities to close into your coaching program. To get your free copy, all you have to do is find me on Instagram and send me the letters CRM, and I'll share with you where you can download and install your copy, and I'll even show you how to use it so you can get clients this month. Second, join my free group for online coaches. We've got almost 1,000 coaches from all over the world. This is where I share my best resources for growing your online business, resources I find on the internet of things that are helpful for me to grow my online business. It's where you can get around me and around other coaches who are just a step ahead of you, at the same step you're at right now, or just a small baby step behind you. To get your invitation to join the Leverage Coach community, all you have to do is drop the word or send me a message with the word group, and I'll know what to do to get you your invite and get you over into the Leverage Coach Facebook group. Lastly, become my next success story. I'm getting some coaches together this month to implement my methods to land 15K in brand new clients or to double your online client roster over the next 30, 60, 90 days. But finding and working with the right people is the most important to me. So only respond to this if you are a relationship focused coach who always puts the person ahead of the money. You've been coaching for at least 1 year. You'd like to get 3 to 5 clients organically from social media every month without wasting time and money on paid ads. You have at least 300 Facebook or Instagram friends or list subscribers or members in a group. You are willing to take bold action because you know that your success depends upon it. And last, but most importantly, you can keep a secret. If that's you, grab your phone right now and find me on Instagram at whatupjeremy and send me a DM with the words case study. When you do that, I'll ask you a couple questions about your online business, your vision, and your goals. And then I'll share with you what we have coming up this month in the Get Clients program, how we're already helping other students with this and some of the wins they're already experiencing, and which part of the program will likely have the highest impact on your business the soonest. Again, grab your phone right now and send me the words case study for all the info. That's it for today's episode of Client by Client. Thank you so much for tuning in. Cheers. Let's do the ending again. That's it for this episode of Client by Client. See you back tomorrow with another one. Cheers. All right, guys. Today on the podcast, you don't want to miss it. How to get clients from your Facebook group actually went live today. We were talking about that. And then yesterday, we talked about how to get clients. 2 episodes. Episode 39, how to get clients from your group, and then how to get clients from your profile. Episode 39 and 40, those are waiting for you over on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Go and find them out so you have an advantage over some other coaches in your industry. And then let me know on Instagram what was most helpful. And if you got value, leave me a rating and review. If you made it all the way through the end, drop Friday in all caps so I can say what up and happy Friday and wish you a happy weekend. That's it for me in this episode. See you guys back on Monday. Cheers.